All right, welcome back, y'all, for another episode of Tilton the Scales. I'm here with my co-hosts Chester Bowen and Walter Hall, the original three amigos. It's been a minute since we got together and talked due to family incursions and outings and gatherings and other
And
commitments. So,
additions.
and additions, yep, and additions.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yes,
you very
congratulations.
much. Grandfather of number three. Amelia Avery Sue Dishler was born, man, was it Monday? Gosh. Anyway, one of our episodes was canceled because of not complications, but her husband was out of town. I needed to be at the house to watch or help watch the kids while she went to the hospital with contractions. It ended up being a no-go, and anyway, she was just born this past week, within a week. I think I saw her and held her. It had to have been Tuesday, maybe Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. I lose track of days sometimes because I don't
Especially
have
when
to
you're
keep track
retired.
of them. Because I don't
Yeah, you
have to
son
keep
of a
track of
bitch.
them.
Man, I am envious of that.
But anyway, that's what's new in my world. So, Chet, what's new in your world since we last got back together?
Well, the best thing I can talk about is that I went to a game in Haverhill, Massachusetts, and these dudes were big. And in Goffstown was 0-2, and I was like, oh man. And my dad actually got to go to the game. My dad and his main squeeze, as I say. And we were all there, and everyone's worried, and like all of a sudden, uh, we ran down their throats, had a great game, but I really wanted Cameron to have that moment in front of, Grandpa, have that moment. Because the one time my grandfather came to a game, the three of us were on the court together playing basketball, and I just threw up a three without really thinking about it. Just like I'm just gonna try to hit it in front of him. It's probably an air ball or a bank or something like that. So like really wanted him to have that moment. And within the last 2 minutes of the game, he throws this absolute dime, hits it. This kid runs, and I was like, okay, we're good now. So that was last Sunday. My dad saw it. It was awesome. So everything on this end is pretty good.
Good. That's good. Good to hear it. Wally, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot of new stuff to report. Just trudging away, work, school, sports. It's kind of my life on repeat, plug and play. Kids doing well. My daughter's playing some great field hockey, best field hockey ever her life. Walter's doing well in flag football. So we'll see. I mean, we're moving onwards and upwards, I suppose.
Good, good. Did you
Okay.
get a new light bulb for your little light there? Because it
I'm
looks really bright.
experimenting. I've got it looking. I've got it right at my face. This is the problem with the basement. So like, I could just do what I usually do. I could go that. I mean, yeah, there's nothing really to look at here. I like the dark. Shadows are okay when they're casting it over this face.
I think you look great. You look great.
You did look great. Yeah, it just looked brighter. You looked whiter,
No, I
brighter, a
mean,
few shades whiter.
I could feel the criticism in your voice.
Oh
So
man. No, it was
I
just
live but to make you. I live but to make you happy, Nate.
no, that was just observation, that's all. And maybe busting balls just a little bit. So
Well,
all right. All right. Well, let's get started. We haven't really spoken, and I was really looking forward to going over the Steelers game with you guys that week. So we'll start with that. The Patriots at the
Oh boy.
Steelers. Uh, Man, it wasn't a great game for sure, but I do want to hear your thoughts, and I'll let you guys go first, and then I'll chime in because I had something that I thought you guys are going to take it in a direction that I wanted to go. So we'll see how that plays out. So we'll get your thoughts first, Walter.
I thought that the Steelers game was interesting in that we've really outplayed them for all intents and purposes. Like I thought the X's and O's execution, we did better. That was a step in the right direction. Except we turned the ball over 5 times, right? And like
Mhm.
it's hard to the where we did it and how we did it and when we did it. It's very hard to win in the NFL if you turn the ball over that often, and they didn't, and that's why they didn't. But there was a lot of good things on what is supposed to be a good Pittsburgh against what is supposed to be a good Pittsburgh team. I think further along in the season, uh, we should be able to beat a team like that. Uh, so I do believe it was the first step in the right direction for a lot of for from my perspective.
Mhm.
Chet, what did
Yeah.
you think?
No, I can say this. I think Josh McDaniels reestablished himself as a great offensive coordinator. Execution was tough. Those
Yep.
fumbles were tough. And I even think the Drake May fumble was at a point where he felt he had to make a play. And I think that he got talked out of that. Well, we'll get to the next week after, but man, that game, if you take the sting of the loss away, you look at the scheme, you look at everything we were trying to do. We man, easy could have won that game. Should have won that game, but we didn't. So fair enough.
Yeah. That's interesting. I feel like your perspective is a little askewed because of the way that we played since then. I feel like if we'd had a reaction the week after, I feel like you guys would have been saying things a little differently because I was beside myself when the first and goal series that we had, we did not run the ball once. And we had, yes, we had already fumbled the ball, but we got three guys that can run between the tackles, first and goal, and that series, first and goal at the one, literally at the one or inside the one, we've seen that playbook before. It didn't work out well. It worked in our favor because the team was stupid and didn't run the ball. And we won a championship because of it. And then our offensive coordinator does not do one run play, and he ends up with an interception in the end zone. And then the next series down, we're in the same situation. First and goal at the 1 yard line, and we don't run it. And I just that series to get to like go back to what you said, Chad, about Josh Daniels establishing himself as a great coordinator. Like, I'm sorry. That series, the first series that where we went four straight downs without with four passes and then turned the ball over, I I disagree with that statement. I think again, since then we've definitely grown and done adjusted things and done things a little differently. But I still like if we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the defense that we thought they were going into the game, they showed us that they were because I think what they have like 6 sacks against us, and their defense forced 5 turnovers. So I mean, they obviously stepped up their game from the first 2 weeks, and they showed us the defense that they were. But again, through all that, we had an opportunity to win the game, and if we go into halftime down, were we down? Oh man, I should have looked at my notes better, but we went into halftime down, and again we had two opportunities of first and goal inside the 5 yard line, and we came away with 0 points, not even field goals. And again, it was part of it was turnovers as well, but I just man I was frustrated with that, and I expected you guys to jump all over that, especially the
So
initial reaction.
can I make a counterpoint to that? Because
Yeah.
while I hear what you're saying, I would say this: our running backs fumbled the ball 3 times that game. So for whatever reason, you may or may not, and in my eyes, in that situation, put the ball in your best player's hand. And I think that through this part of the season, it's quite clear who our best player is. It's our quarterback, and whether that's with him dropping back to throw the ball, whether that's him running the ball, I'd rather see the ball in Drake May's hand at this point than any one of our running backs. And I like them all too. I'm really not genuinely trying to shit on them, but I don't begrudge us putting the ball in the best player's hand.
I
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, but
That
just because somebody fumbles the ball doesn't mean we're not going to run again.
Three
And
times. And we ran the ball again, but three
to the
times
to
not
that to the point where we were first and goal on the 1 yard line, that was like our second possession. We hadn't fumbled the ball yet. I mean, like
QB
so
option
okay,
around
so
the
I'll
I mean,
speak.
I'd rather see a tush push 4 times, and again, we want to be.
I'm good with that too. Yep.
Vrabel said it. Vrabel said it before. We want to be physical. We want to establish dominance on both fronts, offense and defense. Like, what better opportunity is it to run it down their throat? Like everybody, and again, I agree. Drake May is the best player that we have. He's the best option. We can get him in some RPOs, right? Fake the run, a play. But even then, the space is so condensed. There's so many people in those areas. Why even try it until again a, a, a great offensive coordinator, right? Let's create an opportunity for, get some motion, get the defense confused, make them use a timeout, anything like I just
Yep.
I just thought it was a lack of creativity. Those two possessions where we were inside the 5 yard line with first and goal, and we didn't
What'd you
come
just
away
say?
with any points. A lack
What'd
of
you just say though?
creativity. Lack of creativity.
But you said two times what
Two
inside?
times we were inside the 5 yard line with
Yeah,
first and goal.
because our offense got us there, and then we didn't execute in that moment. And so that's what I mean is that I think Josh McDaniels knows how to move the ball down the field, and then the execution was poor. And that honestly is on the head coach. And I love Mike Vrabel, but like that execution, that's on the head coach. Josh McDaniels' job is to like design some schemes, make it work, and the head coach's job is to make sure that the players you have on the field can actually execute the play.
Exactly. Yes.
So that's why I say that with Pittsburgh. But Nate, I hear your point. Like maybe I'm skewed because of what happened with Carolina, but I
Have they
really thought,
redeemed themselves? Potentially, yes.
yeah, but I really thought watching the Pittsburgh game, I was like, that's not on the OC. I mean, we got there. It was the
No,
execution.
I agree, but doesn't it almost feel like I almost feel the opposite? I can understand in those two specific instances where you're feeling a little upset, but over the course of this season, I feel like I can take a deep breath. Like we finally have a legitimate offensive coordinator who knows what the fuck he's doing because it's been years since we can say that. So like the way our offense is developing, like how we've gotten better game to game, like it's like mom and dad are home again. Finally, we can relax. This is how I feel genuinely. I'm very happy with the development. I think Drake May's success this season has been in part due to Josh McDaniels and him being able to steady the offense, call a game well. I'm going to be the first person to put my hand up and say I was wrong about our draft pick. I think Campbell's playing his ass off this year. I think he looks great. Um, yeah, I'm very happy with our progression, and I'm realist too. Like I'm not going to sit here and say like we're Super Bowl bound. Like I get it,
No, we're
but
not.
like all I wanted to see this year was growth. I want to see some excitement. I've seen it already. I like the trajectory. I like where we're at.
Hmm?
Yeah, I agree with everything that you said. Again, we have a bit of hindsight. We've that was a couple weeks ago. I feel like we are a different team, so to speak, at least healthier, right? Like we didn't have Gonzo on that team on defense. But again, when I when Chet says, a genius or a really good offensive coordinator, I feel like the team can people are going to make mistakes. We don't want them to turn the ball over. Julian Edelman is very famous for saying or repeating Bill Belichick's mantra of, ball security is job security. Like uh, we understand that. We don't want that to happen, but when it does, I mean, you don't go away from that doesn't those running plays don't come out of the playbook all of a sudden. Like you still got to run the ball. You still got to establish balance on offense by running and passing or figuring out again ways to scheme around that with some confusion, some motion, some deception. And that's where I thought,
Yep.
at least in that game, that Josh McDaniels missed the mark. But to his point, players failed to execute as well. So, I mean, there is that. I don't disagree with that. It's hard to disagree with that. But I felt like that game is one that got away from us. I think we all hate to say, man, we should have won that game. And I really hope that it doesn't come down to, you know, week 17 and we're no longer eligible because we lost a game like that. You know what I
Like
mean?
that one.
So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
with you.
that would
Yeah.
really hurt. So, but I thought the defense played pretty well because they gave up some plays early and then definitely buckled down. The defense held their own again, and I felt like our offense again, you know, lack of creativity in certain spots, and then again the five turnovers specifically really hurt us. But Drake May is playing his butt off. There's no doubt about that. He is. Let me see some of the stats that I pulled.
Technically, and Wally, feel free to jump all over me on this, but technically, Drake May is top five right now. Technically,
Top five quarterback, you saying?
He's
technically,
top. He's a top five in average passing yards. Uh,
completion percentage, touchdown, interception. He's looking pretty good right now.
I mean, I don't know if he's top five in those, but
Wait, rewind, because that's fair because I'm counting the touchdowns that he runs for. So you're right about that.
yeah, if we're talking passing,
Seven
yeah,
Passing
seven
only.
TDs, two interceptions right now for Drake May.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, no, he is.
There's plenty of people significantly better. Matthew Stafford 11-2, Lamar Jackson's
Yes.
10-1, 9-2,
Overall,
8-3, 8-1. Yeah,
he's middle of the pack. He's probably like floating around 15, 12.
Like
And
tier three
but
quarterback.
but if we look at our boy Mac Jones, he's top 10, boy.
Ooh, I'm
He's
loving,
top
I'm
10
loving
and
Mac
only
Jones.
playing 3 games. He is a top
I
10 in passing yards, touchdowns. I mean, he's so let's
I love
before we
me
get
some
into
Mac Jones.
yeah,
I
well,
love
talk about
watching
it.
him
Talk about
succeed.
it.
I love watching him succeed because I actually remember we were all talking about this and I was a big fan and I'm like they I will say this over and over again. They played the hits on how to ruin a quarterback in New England for 2 years straight. And now we're seeing that Mac Jones has a brilliant mind. He can read a defense. I'm not saying that he's like the next anything. I'm just saying when you give the kid a chance and you give him some good coaching, he actually seems to be performing well. It's
Yeah.
it's not that hard. I don't know what happened to Belichick towards the end there. He wouldn't even talk to the guy apparently for a whole year. Like what in the hell was happening there? Dysfunction at the highest level.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and it starts with again the head coach assigning a special teams guy and a defensive coordinator to run the offense. Like,
Mhm.
uh, if I'm a it, it's a good thing that Mac Jones was a second year player and there wasn't a veteran quarterback because the veteran quarterback would have thrown everybody under the bus pretty
Absolutely.
quickly
Yep.
and made it known, why the performance is the way that it is. But yeah, I'm happy for Mac Jones. I said at the
Me too.
beginning of the year that I thought that he was going to be the next Sam Darnold. Again, Sam Darnold started in San Francisco, played some backup roles there, and then went on and signed a free agent contract with a not very lucrative 1 year contract with Minnesota,
Oh yeah.
then signed a huge deal with Seattle. So Minnesota gave him a play yourself into a top tier quarterback contract. They didn't bite on the contract, but he went to free agency. So I think again, it seems like San Francisco is the quarterback resurrection room apparently,
No, no,
except
no
for
doubt. There's no
except
doubt.
for the guy, except for the guy that the quarterback whisperer actually drafted, which was Trey Lance. That was his guy too. The funny thing about that situation is Trey Lance was, whatever his name is. Why can't I think of his name? In San Francisco, the coach wanted Trey Lance,
Shanahan.
and John Lynch wanted Purdy. And that's why he was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant. And they drafted, very rarely are there two quarterbacks drafted in the same draft. Unlike, Robert Griffin III and Kirk Cousins, right? Like it very rarely happens. But again, Shanahan wanted Trey Lance, but John Lynch wanted Purdy, and that's how they ended up that way. And then again,
Interesting.
the guy that Shanahan handpicked to be the quarterback didn't pan out in his system, and they quickly moved off of him, which was very good. But and they found a sucker in the Cowboys to get some get some draft picks back.
So wait,
But
so Nate, hold on. So what you're saying is you like that?
do you like that? You like that? Huh? You like
You
that?
like that?
But yes, I do. So going into the game against the Panthers, which was really good, Drake May was tied, or Drake May and Justin Herbert were the only two quarterbacks that averaged, I think, 230 yards passing and two touchdowns over the first 3 weeks of the season. And going into that game, I mean, I, I expected them to for it to be like a get right game, especially after the way that they played. Uh, I feel like Vrabel being the type of guy that he is, the coach that we want him to be, anytime you have a performance where there's just a lack of mental focus and you turn the ball over and that's the reason why you lose, I feel like he's going to get the team ready to perform at a high level mentally, physically, and execute. And that's exactly what happened. I think their first score was a punt return for a touchdown, and then they didn't look back after that. Didn't look good in the first series when Carolina, defensively anyway, when Carolina marched down the field and scored a touchdown on the first possession. I'm like, oh man, this we could
Mhm.
we could be in for a ride. This might be a back and forth game, hopefully. But yeah, they ended up the defense buckled down. Our defense through the 4 weeks, they're number three in rush defense, only giving up 77 yards rushing. Passing defense is something that they need to improve on, and with Gonzo coming back into the lineup, that should help. They're 26 in pass defense, but what's odd is that they're fifth in sacks. So there's some sort of disconnect where we're getting pressure, we're getting good pressure, but why are we giving up? Maybe it's the way that the games are playing out where we are scoring some points, so the other team has to pass a little bit more to catch up. We have been in the lead quite a bit through most of the games, so but yeah, we're fifth in sacks, which I really like at 10, and then but our pass defense is just terrible. We're in the lower third of that. So hopefully things tighten up as we move forward in the season. What was your reaction to the Panthers game, Wally?
Oh, fun to watch, right? It's nice to see an old fashioned ass whooping. It's been a little while since we've been able to see one of those, and they're enjoyable. I agree with you about the concerns about the pass defense, but Gonzo, I mean, getting a stud number one cornerback, that's a guy you can build a defense around. He's probably heading into the season our number one defensive player. Um, I'm excited to see as he continues to get more comfortable. Took a little bit longer than I anticipated, if I'm being honest. But I think we're only going to get better in that regard. I just liked everything I saw. Obviously, our special teams that was unbelievable. Watching
Yeah.
stuff like that is always fun. It was just a fun game. It was a fun game. It was exciting. I mean, again, it was the Panthers, so you got to put it in perspective. But this is the sort of game that I get excited to watch, and you get excited to move forward. Gets you back riveting, so you can actually get excited about Sunday football again.
Yeah, the fanboys want to see more of that, right?
We are who we are. At least we're honest.
We're
This
honest.
is true. This is true. What was your reaction, Chet?
Same as bowling. It's the Panthers. It was nice to see. I don't think it means that we're gonna go steamroll the Bills. I don't think it means anything other than we beat the team we were supposed to beat, and that's a step up from where we were a couple years ago. So we'll go with that. It was fun to watch. Gonzo back was good. Spillane making tackles was really good. So, we'll see where it goes. And I think the team has learned, especially after the first game against Oakland, don't throw the ball 40 something times. That's not what we are right now.
That's
Balance
not
it
the
out.
rest. That's not the recipe, you don't think?
Not the recipe. So balance it out, but find a running back who won't fumble the ball,
We
right?
got one.
Yeah.
We do have one. We do have one right now. So let's see how that goes next week. I am so excited for Sunday Night Football, though. Even if we lose,
Me
I'm just
too.
so excited to watch it.
So are
We have
we
so
were
many
we
1 o'clock
surprised?
games. Ugh.
Yeah. Were we surprised that Ramondre kept his job? I mean,
No,
he had a reduction in touches against the Panthers, but were we surprised that we didn't cut him or trade him or anything?
no,
I'm not surprised he's a talented runner. Like we saw what he did the week before. What do you have? 80 something receiving yards.
Yeah.
He's clearly talented. But holy cow, the amount of fumbles he's had over the last 2 years. At some point, you got to be nearing the breaking point. Three fumbles already this year. What, seven last year? Bad on any level. And if you can't hold on to the ball, you're not going to have a league. You're not going to have a job in the NFL. So I'm not surprised, but it's not going to take too much more before he gets the hook. Not when we have two capable running backs behind him. Antonio Gibson's looked good in flashes too.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. I
I'm
think
not
it'll
surprised they
probably
kept him.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'm not surprised they kept him because Mike Vrabel said out loud, "We need this guy." Not saying I want this guy, but saying I need this guy. And so I felt like they were like, "Hey," and I think Mike Vrabel, as a human being, an alpha male, was like, "I can fix this." Right? So we'll see how
Yeah.
that works out over the next few weeks. But yeah, I wasn't surprised. I do, to Wally's point, though, he makes perfect sense. One more, two more in a critical moment, it's over.
Yeah.
I get that. Nate, am I boring you?
No, I was about to sneeze, so I muted it and then I was gonna sneeze and then all right. So yeah, also what happened in week 4 was the Green Bay Packers and the Cowboys
Mhm.
tied. And I just wanted to bring that up. If you want to talk about the reaction, you can, but I bring it up to say that did you know what franchise is the only franchise in history that does not have a tie game?
Give me a minute.
New England Patriots.
That's true. Was that a
What?
guess? Was that a guess, Wally, or did you know? Did you hear it?
I am a very intelligent man. If you don't know this yet, no, I guessed. I guess it was an educated guess. It was an educated guess,
Yep,
but
the
based on the tone of your
Patriots.
voice.
Yep, the Patriots are the only franchise. They're not one of the oldest, obviously. The Green Bay Packers are, and so are the Cowboys, a couple of
Gee,
the oldest franchises.
yeah.
So uh it makes sense that they would have it,
We don't tie,
but
Nate.
it's well, I mean, when you look at it, the Panthers are one of the youngest organizations, and they have a tie in their record as well. So like, and another fact, I think it was what was it, the week that the no, because they opened up. Oh, week 2. Week 2, the Eagles had an opportunity to go in the above 500 record for their franchise overall history. Like they ended up doing it, obviously. So now they're what, 2 games above 500 in their franchise history, which is remarkable considering they've been pretty successful. They haven't. I feel like they haven't been a doormat, so to speak, but overall their record's only 500 essentially, or now 3 games over 500. All right, enough with the history lesson. Let's talk about the Red Sox. Man, heartbreaker for sure. Sorry, before we move on to the Red Sox, did you want to say anything about the Patriots? And do we want to do a preview now or go to the Red Sox, then do a preview for the
We might as
Bills?
well
Let's do a preview
finish up
now.
the NFL.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do a preview for the Bills. Sunday night game. I agree with you, Wally. We have a whole bunch of afternoon games not playing in prime time a lot. I think this is a good opportunity. I like those games too because then I can essentially go somewhere and it's going to be on the TV because it's the only game. So I can go somewhere locally if I want to with the swag, with the drip on,
I like
repping
it.
repping the New England Patriots. So I think it's going to be a competitive game. I believe in our team. It's going to be tough to stop Josh Allen. Uh, I think our defense, obviously, we can get to him, but he still has the tendency to get away from pressure, even if it means de basically breaking tackles, breaking sacks, and then running for yards. So. I hope that we are disciplined in our, in our the way that we hold edges, and don't allow him to get extra yardage because he's just that we can't spy him all game. We probably are going to, but we can't do that, I don't think. So I think it's going to be a close game. I hope that we can pull it out by winning by a field goal towards the end, but I feel like it's probably going to be the other way around where Josh Allen gets the ball and he ends up going down to at the final in the final possession of the game and winning. But what are your thoughts, Chet?
So mine are, I think we should spy him the entire game because there's no other way for us to beat the guy. Um, but I do think that we got Shakir, who we have to make sure we take care of him, put Gonzo on him, spy Josh Allen, and then James Cook has been killing it. But we have Tavai back now, and Barmore's in there, I think at least. It looks like he was questionable, but if he's in there, we stuff him, we do that. The offense is the part that worries me more just because no matter how good we do on defense, Buffalo will find a way to get in the end zone. So can we respond? Can we handle the pressure? And you got a guy who's 20 years younger than me on the field who's supposed to figure that out. And I think the Patriots can pull it off. I give them like a 30% chance, but if I was going to bet right now because I'm such a homer, I would bet in the Patriots.
I wouldn't be mad at you. We should all be rooting and slash betting for them, right? Like,
Yeah.
what do you think, Wally?
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting, and if I was betting money, I'd bet all the Patriots too. But I mean, realistically speaking, the Bills are one of the best teams in football. Josh Allen is one of the best, if not the best quarterback in football. James Cook is having an outstanding year for them. That Buffalo defense is questionable. That's where I think I think we could make some noise there. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a good game. I do think Buffalo probably is a little bit better than us, but obviously I'm rooting and pulling for the Patriots. I just, yeah, and if I'm being honest, I think Buffalo's it's probably gonna beat us, but I think it'll be close.
Yeah. I mean, I want us to again. I'm sure all week it's been said, hey, we these guys have made fools of us for the last 4 years at least. They've been very successful for the last 4 years. They're probably thinking we're gonna come in there and they're gonna walk all over us. So I hope that that's a motivation for the players. It's a way to at least create some identity. Use that culture to like of toughness to just go in there, hit them in the mouth, be physical. If they win, they win. If they lose, that the other team walks off the field and is feeling every play because it was so physical. Like that's the way that I want them to play. That's the way I want the coaches to coach.
Yeah.
Uh, and hey, we are again top five in run defense. So, but James Cook is very versatile. So he can catch, he can
So
he
good.
can run.
So
Uh,
good.
and so I think that's probably a push. So I wouldn't give the edge to them or us. They have the edge in quarterback. Like Josh Allen is just going to find a way to do things. We can only hope that again. I shouldn't say hope, but uh, if we get turnovers, we can definitely get turnovers. Whether it's interceptions, tip balls. I mean, we just need to be super active even if we're not getting to Josh Allen, the defense has their hands up trying to, tip balls, potentially making it easier for our DBs to and linebackers to get some interceptions. And then hopefully, things will end up in our favor. But I do think it's going to be a tight game because it is a division rival, and they don't probably see us as a rival. But I mean, we've wiped the floor with them plenty of times. There's people in that organization that have a huge disdain for the Patriots, so
Yeah.
they might not be on the field, but it's going to be felt throughout the organization during the week, and
I've been
we're
there
going
in
to
real
see
life.
it.
The fans are yelling at me. I've done nothing wrong. I'm just sitting there watching and they're yelling at me. So that's fine. Also, can we do a hot break timeout? Hot break
Yes.
timeout. Nate, did you get the water bottle?
Well, no, I did not. Where you at? Yes, I did. Yes. Yes, the one that you sent. Yep. I think I left it at my daughter's house actually, so that's
That's
why I'm not
fine.
drinking from it.
Just want to make sure.
But yes, I do. Thank you.
Right. Of
Appreciate it.
course.
I meant to send you a picture and then, but I didn't.
I was going to drink it on this podcast.
Yeah, I
Just,
don't know
just
why
to
you didn't. You had plenty
see
of
if it goes.
time.
Well,
You
no,
had
because you
plenty.
called me because you figured it out way too early.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, right now we're what, 7.5 point underdogs.
Oh, I thought we were
So
8.5. Seven and a
uh
half. It went down one. Okay.
ESPN ESPN has it. Let me just refresh just in case. Yep, 7.5 still. The
Also,
over
before we
under is
before we move on from
45
football,
and a half, 49 and a half. Sorry, go ahead.
I did play Mac Jones for Cameron and I in our fun league.
Oh, I saw that. This, yeah, the CB squared.
Yes, he was great. Felt good.
Yeah, our fantasy football. Yeah. Geez, Wally, you're 3-1, right? Check, you're in the cellar. You're
I'm in
two
the
and
cellar.
two.
Yeah. No, you're 3-1, Molly, right? Walter's Wild Team,
Yeah,
something.
but I think your win's against me. I think my loss is against you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Maybe
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think my one
Yeah,
loss is against you.
head to head. Yeah. You
But yes,
lost
I'm
to
3-1.
Chet. Yeah. All right. Anything else about football?
No, we can move on to baseball or whatever else you have in the docket.
It's just baseball. And then anything else you want to talk about. But yeah, so the Red Sox, man, super happy that they made it to the wild card. I don't really like the setup of the wild card for sure. I think we talked about that. I don't like three straight games in one park. Having said that, we go in there, win game one. I thought that was awesome. Like, Crochet was on fire. He was untouchable.
It's awesome.
Uh, that was great to see. We needed a gem. We glad we have a top tier, starter in the rotation. Uh, your reactions on game one, Wally?
I got a lot of them, and I got a lot of thoughts about the Red Sox long term as well. As far as game one, I was excited. I mean, again, we have a stud, we have an ace, we have a true number one Cy Young caliber big game pitcher. And the Red Sox are always more fun to watch when they have that stud. He is as advertised. We have him locked up at a reasonable price for the next 6 years. I'm excited to have this guy on our team. It's exactly what we've been lacking.
Yep.
And I think that he's a large part of the reason we are in the wild card. And so I was excited. I was excited about the way this team played game one, just tenacious, um, hard playing. A gritty team.
Gritty,
Not
yeah.
not a lot of big name. I mean, look at the guys that are up. I'm like, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Like, it's not like this is a team filled with superstars.
Yeah.
So I think it's sets up well for years to come. I'm excited to where we're going. I mean, think about it. We're missing all of our kids. But I miss Mayer, obviously Roman, both being out, and put them in the middle of this lineup. And who knows, get a legitimate first base bat that can actually a big bat in the middle of the lineup.
Pete
This is going to be a
Alonso.
tough. Pete Alonso, yep. This is going to be a tough. This is going to be a good team. I'm excited to see what the future brings. But
Chet, did
this
you?
series also showed a lack of depth in the starting pitching, which needs to be addressed this offseason. Both of those kids pitched pretty well, but we need a legitimate second and third starter.
Yeah. Chet, did you watch any of it?
Yeah, the whole thing. I watched it because I knew I'd be talking to you guys. So I'm watching the whole thing. First game was, oh my God, Crochet's a stud, to Wally's point. Second game, I was watching, like, I don't understand. The good thing about me is I don't understand baseball that well, but you guys must have been losing your minds as you're watching this pitching go out of control. And we had a game in our hands and lost it. And then I don't think we ever had the third game in control at any point ever. And so
No.
baseball fans, after 162 regular season games where you spend your money, you do your stuff, man, that stings. That stings.
Yeah, that's also why I don't like the format because at a minimum, like if we're not the home team, that's fine. But if we win a game, we should have a home game. You know what I mean?
I see that.
Uh,
Yep.
and
Yep.
and maybe if the again, maybe if the format is uh, that the worst team gets one home game and then the final two are at because I don't want a 7 game series. I don't think anybody does. There's enough baseball unless they reduce the number of games during the season, regular season. Uh, I don't want that, but I think the format needs to change. But game one, stellar, loved it. Grit reminded me of Cowboy Up. Like it was a bunch of young kids that were kind of like making a name for themselves in the postseason. It was gritty. There weren't a lot of there wasn't a lot of offense. It was just, you know, just smart baseball. And that's where again, Kevin Millar and all those people where we brought a bunch of people that were like kind of no names, but had veterans in the lineup that were just gritty, that would grind it out. Um, that reminded me of that. And then game two, very man, I think we were smart when we went to the bullpen early. We were playing, statistical baseball at that point. I think from a managerial perspective, he was smart about it. But I really thought that we missed an opportunity because I felt like the attitude going into that game should have just been offense, defense, everything. Be ultra aggressive. We've got nothing to lose. If we lose this game, we're back to square one, but we have an opportunity to win and then move on. So I felt like they should have been ultra aggressive, especially the coaches. I was disappointed when there was the only opportunity that we had to score and go ahead was a double play opportunity. The first baseman Ben Rice misplayed the ball. It went off his glove. The guy was safe, and there was a guy rounding third, and the guy should have never, because he was moving off the crack of the bat. It's a ground ball. He should have never hesitated. He should have turned and went. Like I felt that from the beginning. Go halfway down the line. By the time you get down there, you'll figure out once you get 3 or 4 strides down towards home whether you should go or not. And I felt like they missed an opportunity because they should have been ultra aggressive in every aspect. I don't agree with, again, game two. I don't agree with them bunting to try and get people in scoring position. Like that didn't get us there. That's not how we played all season. I don't agree with changing that strategy, especially in that game. I thought we should have been again ultra aggressive in every aspect because we won one game. This is our chance, right? This is our chance. Let's just be super aggressive. I'm not saying you go out there and the coach tells everybody swing at the first pitch. Like not that kind of aggressive, but just super aggressive. Take the first pitch and then, find somewhere to hit the ball hard with the next pitch that you like and just be super aggressive on the base paths. I think we missed an opportunity and then we go into, game three and geez, the kid from Massachusetts who we probably should have recruited, we probably should have had on our radar, and we probably should have drafted. And everybody in the major leagues is saying that now because he was I don't think he was a first round draft pick. So everybody passed on him at some point. But that kid threw a gem. 6'6", throwing 100, well into the eighth inning as well. Like that dude was all gas and great for him, man. That was a gem. We didn't have a chance. He was almost untouchable. I'm surprised some of the hits that we got. But looking back on it, there's no reason we should have won because we went what 19 for 96 through the series. We batted 196 in the series, and that is just atrocious. It's terrible. We need to do better. Uh, I felt like even the guys that were good, that were hitting the ball, making good contact, which were Yoshida, Sogert, and Story, they all batted above 300 in the series. But I felt like they should have tweaked the lineup a little bit, especially game three, if that was the case, Uh, and we missed an opportunity. Again, I don't think it would have mattered against that kid that was just throwing gas. So, Wally, what was your reaction to games two and three?
Similar to you, like I mean, I don't have a problem with them dropping down bunts because ultimately that it turned out to be a very close game, and manufacturing runs any way you could, I think, would have been a viable option. I understand what you're saying regarding that, like you dance with the girl that brought you, right? You play baseball the way you have all year. When they were scrapping, they were trying to score. I liked all, I liked the way our kids pitched too. Like I know that giving up 4 runs for the day 3 starter, but I thought he had pitched well up into that, and I thought the runs he gave up in that inning were little bloops. That leadoff double was
Oh,
a
earlier talking about?
yeah. I thought he
Yeah, no,
pitched
I
all
loved
right. Like
early. I thought they were both great. Yeah.
even like I said, he gave up those 4 runs, but I did not feel like any of those were hard hit balls. Like they were squeakers in between players. That little bloop double. So shit like that is going to happen. It was nice to have Red Sox Yankees meaningful fall
Yeah.
baseball again. Like in October games against the Yankees just hit different. There's almost nothing else like it in sports, and it was getting me fired up again. Like I was enjoying it. Yankees fans infuriate me. I really don't like them, but we haven't had like there hasn't been that passion lately. So it's like I haven't been reminded about why I dislike them so strongly. Watching three, and I agree with you about the setup, 3 away games at Yankee Stadium where they wouldn't even sell tickets to people from Massachusetts or
From
anywhere in New England.
Massachusetts.
Like
Yeah.
with my credit card, I could not go buy a ticket to the Yankee Stadium, which was not sold out. Posers for football,
Yeah,
playoff
that's
baseball
true.
wasn't
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
sold out. That would ever fucking happen at Fenway. So like it hits different. I wish we played better. I do again. I'm excited for what the future holds. We didn't have we were in. We've got to bring back Bregman. We got to sign a legitimate first baseman that can hopefully hit 40 home runs a year. Um, but I'm excited. I'm really excited for this team. It was fun to watch. It was a fun season.
Yeah, I'd love to see them, Pete Alonso's a free agent that's
Pete
out there.
Alonso, yeah.
Love to see them take a swing at him, hopefully. Get him. I'd like to see Bregman come back too. Bregman didn't have a good series though. I was a little disappointed in that. He had
Had a
some
good
key
season
hits,
though.
but he had some key hits at times, but he wasn't as consistent as I wanted him to be. Uh, yeah, again, I go back to game 2. I just felt like they should have been ultra aggressive. It's not that I don't like bunting, and there's situations where you can do that, but instead of bunting, again, get the infield moving. Only lay down the bunt or fake to advance the runner, meaning steal and not bunt. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the idea of it isn't to get the bat on the ball. It is to force the defense to rotate and then get a still stolen base and then swing away. Like uh, I felt like we should have been ultra aggressive again. I would have liked to see that instead of again not just we're not buttoned to create run production. Like we shouldn't need to do that. When you bat 196 through a series, yes, that is what needs to
Yeah.
happen. But I felt like they missed an opportunity to just go out, play loose, play aggressive, and then we'll see where the chips lay at the end of the game.
The problem is going to be where are we going to put all these people next year? I mean, we got to trade Yoshida, right? He was our best hitter in the play. He had huge hits
Wait, wait,
for the
wait.
playoffs, but
Why? Why trade him?
because where are we
Yeah.
going to put him? Like, where are we going to put him? We got Roman Anthony coming back, who needs his at bats. Sedane Raphael, you're not putting him in over him. I think Durant's probably gone. Like I mean, his defense, he didn't hit particularly well. I don't know. What do you do? Where do you put him?
Yeah.
Just Yoshida stepped up when almost no one else did. So
I agree, but he didn't like. We didn't really have a spot for him down the stretch. I hear what you're saying. I just don't know where he comes. And then we've also got Kristen Campbell, who we signed to a 7-year deal in the minors, who really turned it on at the end of the year. I'm surprised he didn't
Yeah.
get pulled up. We're gonna have to find at
I
bats for him.
if I
Mayer's
look
coming
at
back. Where
Yeah,
we
if I
put him?
look at the
Second.
outfield though, if I look at the outfield though,
Mm-hmm.
I like Ref Schneider, but I'm okay with moving him. I'm okay with moving Will Abreu or keeping Ref Schneider,
Oh,
and then Ref Schneider becomes the platoon, and then move Yoshida to left, and
you
then
don't like
you
Abreu?
open up. It's not that I don't. I just like neither one of them did anything in the two games that they had, the three games that they had, you know? So it was
Yeah.
disappointing. And like you wonder moving forward, well, do they need protection in the lineup? Potentially, but I didn't think that anyone was. I didn't think, other than game three, obviously with that pitcher, he outmatched everybody. But I didn't think like the pitching was the issue as far as the pitching was beating the hitting. I felt like the hitters were just picking bad spots, bad pitches to swing at, and not making really smart plays at the plate. And I didn't. I like Ref Snyder, and he got it. Him and Abreu are the reason we're there, right? But like, if we have to move somebody, like Yoshida's really good. I really like him. Like I very rarely have seen him like not get solid contact any pitch. Although again, game three, that guy made everybody look pretty bad, but he was one of the bright spots against him as well. Uh, but he did have his moments where he failed to get good contact. But yeah, I don't know. Moving forward, of course, we're gonna bring in Roman Anthony. Uh, what do you
The
do with
past work.
Sogard? You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I
And then
think
here's the
that, I mean,
question.
again, we get Kristen Campbell. We got Mayer, they both need at bats. I don't know what we do. So I think we're going to have to sign a big first baseman. We got, what's his name? What's the first baseman that got injured this year? Who
I
was our
don't
first
remember
baseman at the
his name.
start of the year? Blonde headed kid. Came up through our system. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know. But somebody that I was definitely disappointed in was Duran, man. Like he didn't show up at all.
No, I know. I
Very
think he might lose his
disappointing.
job next year. I think
Oh,
Abreu comes back. I think Abreu's a legit. I like Abreu.
I don't know. Again, he didn't do anything to impress me in this series. And like that's where I don't expect everybody to be Derek Jeter, like, but I expect in Yankees Red Sox, like, man, this is something else. You take your game to another level. If it's Yankees or if it's Red Sox Blue Jays, it's a little different. But again, this is what you're wearing a Boston Red Sox jersey for.
yeah.
The disdain of the Yankees, the utter disdain, like the hatred, it comes out in the way that you play.
Yeah,
And
it does. But the Yankees took it to another level, not us.
well, of course, yeah.
Sucks.
We didn't well, yes. And I wouldn't even say that they did. They just again, one person. I thought that the Yankees were pretty pedestrian, just like us, through the first two games, and
Oh yeah.
the second
Agree.
game or the third game, it was our errors. And again, they don't even go down as errors. 5 years ago, that game, like early wouldn't have had an earned run because they all would have been errors.
Mm.
Every run that was scored would have been errors, and like I don't understand that at all. Like why did we change that? I'm not really sure. But yeah, I was looking for that kid, whoever the first baseman was, Wally.
I'll get it. Hold on a second. It is Tristan Cassis.
Hmm. Was he a
Yeah, he came up
was
through our
he
system. We've had, he's been a Red Sox for a while.
I'd still like to see Pete Alonso would look really good in the Red Sox
I couldn't agree
uniform.
more. Yeah, yeah, he's not
Uh,
the answer, but he's a homegrown kid.
yeah. Uh, I was super upset that Ben Rice hit that home run to lead off the game. And his first at bat, especially since the whole day everybody was talking about the lineup change, and that's why they lost the first game. And then Ben Rice his first at bat, he goes yard, and like I was pretty pissed off about that. But that's another kid, wasn't he? Isn't he New Hampshire or New England grown?
Oh,
Ben Rice,
Ben Rice.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Let me look. I'll look it up.
I got it right here.
Hmm. Well, tell me then.
Cohasset, Mass.
Yeah, he's from Mass too. Like, damn,
Let's
man.
go. Let's
And
go.
what's up with these? Like both him, Ben Rice, and Cam, they grew up Yankees fans. At least according to whatever's being said about them on Twitter. They
Yeah,
both
I'm
grew
sure
up
they did.
Yankees fans. Yeah,
Of
I'm
course,
sure
that's what
they
they
did.
tell Yankee. That's what they tell Yankee fans.
Well,
Big Cat grew up a Patriots fan.
I mean, my own mother is a Yankees fan. I didn't even know
Wait,
that
wait,
until I was
wait.
like, what?
Two things. Who did you say was a Yankees fan?
Yeah,
Your mom?
Big Cat. Big Cat's a Barstool blogger. He's a Chicago Barstool blogger. He's known as a. Do you follow Barstool at all?
No.
Yeah, so he's like their he's one of their two big guys. He's known as like the quintessential Chicago sports fan, and it came out a couple of years ago that he was actually grew up in New England, Massachusetts. He was a Patriots fan. He was a Tom Brady fan. He was a fan through our Super Bowls. He moved out there to take a job and became a legitimate Chicago fan. I don't begrudge him that. He got a job, became a fan, writing about
Yeah.
the Chicago teams, but he grew up a New England fan.
Huh,
So
that's
Nate, you
funny.
said that your mom was a Yankees fan?
My mom is a Yankees fan. Yep. I can't
Huh.
disown her, but I've
No,
told
I get
her
it. I get it.
she's come close. She's come close.
You certainly don't come home and visit her enough.
That's true.
Well, now we
That's
know
true.
why,
I've been
Mom.
thinking
Now
about
we know
that.
why.
I've been thinking about that, but for sure. All right. Anything else?
I am on borrowed time because they're going to get home at any moment. And so, well, I know we had that last thing about the teaching kids stuff.
Teaching kids stuff?
Yeah.
Parenting?
I
We
don't
don't need
believe
to
in it.
talk about that.
No,
Yeah,
I
we
know
don't
you
need to
don't.
talk
Like,
about that.
I don't believe in
We
it.
can go into that real quick. Yeah, so parenting styles, I wanted to kind of go a little bit more in depth and not rush it, but
No, we can. No,
um
that's why I'm doing it now, so we don't have to rush it.
well, you said you're
Okay.
on borrowed time. I feel like that's we need to move quickly.
Let's fight about this for the next 5 minutes.
We won't go too in depth. Well, how about you just give me your parenting style or what you think is your parenting style, and then the example.
Sure. Easy. It's so there's an authoritarian parenting style, which is like, do it because I say so, which bullshit. There's authoritative, which is like, you and I both understand that I have the power here and you don't, but I care about you. And I want you to understand why I'm saying these things. There's that one. And then there's the neglect, which is like, I don't care what you do whatever you want, whenever you want. And if you get into trouble, I guess maybe I'll bail you out, maybe I won't, but I'm probably going to turn my back on you. And the neglectful one's the worst. So mine is like the authoritative, like talk to you, explain to you why I'm making the decision that I'm making. And with Haley, you asked for an example. She sometimes comes out and she's in a bad mood for no reason, and she treats everyone in the house like they're the worst people she's ever met. So I just pull her aside every now and then and I say, "Hey, listen, I get it. Life can be tough. You're dealing with all this stuff, and you don't have to tell me what it is. It's going to get better. Just try not to treat your mom or your brother a certain way because they don't deserve it, but it will get better. And if you ever need anything, I swear to God, I have you forever." And when I get to have those moments, it's not like every day, but when I get to have those, it's wildly effective because then I see something happen with her where she's like, okay, someone understands me. She forgets the next day, of course, because she's 13.
Yeah.
But if I continue to do that over and over, when she needs it, we'll be good. So that's more my style.
Yeah, I like it. You did miss permissive. You went
I did miss permissive.
permissive is one, but and you pretty much hit it on the money. Authoritative is high warmth, high control, and parents set clear rules but are responsive and supportive. Authoritarian is low warmth, high control, strict rules with little room for negotiation, emphasis on obedience and discipline and emotional distance. That's good though. That was good. I appreciate that. And thank you for sharing. I know at some point I'd really like to get into a little bit more in depth in like how you guys feel like your parenting style changes between a boy and a girl and
Hmm,
how you deal with that and go from one to the other with different parenting styles. And I think also, different situations call for different parenting styles. Like,
for sure.
I'm sure you're authoritative all like most of the time, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then, I'm sure at some point you're probably like switching up and you're even neglective. Like you're like, man, I don't care, do what you want. After you've told them several times this is what I want you to do, and then whatever, do what you want. It's your house. Use a little reverse psychology maybe at some point when they get older, maybe not now, but it might happen. Who knows? Wally, let's have your parenting style.
I think I probably mirror Chet. I'm authoritative, bordering on an occasional permissive. Um, I believe in conversations in explaining the why. And I think for sons, it's important to lead by example, right? I need to exemplify what I say in order for him to respect what I'm trying to tell him. And I think with sons that there also has to edge towards authoritarian on occasion as well, because otherwise, like I think it's really important for a man to know discipline and self discipline and be able to restrain yourself in certain situations and know when to act right and when not to. So I think that, like you said, Nate, you have to kind of mold to the situation you're in, and it's okay to bounce between various types. But I think you always kind of come back to a default, and my
Yeah,
default tends to be like permissive slash authoritative, somewhere
yeah.
somewhere in that regard. I have a wife who complements my deficits very well, and I think our style work meshes well together. Um,
Perfect.
and again, you got to understand that I've also been working with kids with some significant behavioral difficulties for 25 plus years. So my style works in terms of dealing with children generally. So I think my
Yeah.
parenting style mirrors kind of my style in terms of my professional career as well. Um, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. You hit it. I think you hit it on the head with especially boys. Like, they do need that authoritative figure, probably a lot more than a girl, right? A young girl growing into adolescence. A boy
Oh,
needs to
man,
be
I don't
told
know.
by
Maybe,
I don't
but
know about
girls are
that.
tough, man.
Yeah,
Girls are tough. Yeah, I'm not kidding. They're way harder.
very tough. Yeah,
well, I mean, I had an angel. My daughter was an angel. She
I
was
love that. I love that. No, I love that for you.
No, probably because she was an only child and didn't know any better. And when her friends acted out, she thought they were all weird. But like, yeah, no, I had a pretty good daughter. So, but I was very authoritative with her, and it took me a long time to figure out. I shouldn't say a long time, but there's been some hard conversations where I've apologized for the way that I was, even though she didn't. She said, "You don't need to apologize. I understand now. You are the person that you are." But when I was younger, I was raising her like I would a soldier. And like, damn, the kid's 8 years old. Like, why the hell do I expect her to do the things and respond to the way that I talk to a soldier? Like I had no idea. I was working my way through that. So, but yeah, it took me getting into coaching and helping her on the athletic field and how to communicate more effectively there to actually be a better parent and understand like, dang, like, all right, girls are different than guys. I need to do positive reinforcement when I'm coaching instead of negative reinforcement. Like, don't tell them what they did wrong. Tell them how to correct it, how to fix it, and positive reinforcement. Like, that was great. Let's try and do that again, even though they didn't correct the fault that I'm trying to get them to correct. It's just that was great. Let's do it again. This time try and do this. This time try and do, to to work that way. And so I learned through coaching, honestly, how to be a better parent.
Hmm.
and it worked out that way for me. So, but
If
yeah,
I
I think
may,
you're right. Huh?
I'm sorry, if I may, everything you just described also works for boys.
Yeah.
It's it's
Yeah, it
it's
does.
it's I coach flag, I coach everything, and they're so young that like what they need is like, okay, you made a mistake, it's gonna be okay. Because I see some boys who they miss a pass or something, and they will beat the hell out of themselves for that. And my goal, my personal goal when I coach, is to make sure they understand, hey, you ran the right route, you jumped up, you put your hands up, you missed that one. It's okay. Get it next time. How can I help you figure out like what's going on with your hands? Like, let me figure this out. Same thing with boys and girls. I don't think it's that different, especially when they're that young. But I do love this. I do love that your daughter is what led you to the place that you're at right now. Where you're like, okay, you grew up this way, you were taught these things, and then you're like, okay, I got to adjust and try to do these things to try to coach them differently. That's really cool, Nate. It really is.
Oh, well, thank you, but I think we've all done that, with the exception of Wally. Wally had some stud parents, but like we I think we all use how we grew up and how we were parented to create our own style. Take the things that we liked, add the things that we know should have been there when we didn't have them, or just change again. We take some of the parenting styles that we had from our parents, and then we make our own. I think ultimately, I think as men, we almost automatically default to a authoritarian. At some point, it's going to go there. Again, you try, you dabble, you explain things in a certain way to try to be a little bit soft, so to speak. See if there's a
And then
response.
you
If there's
yell.
if there's no response or they're not responding, then it's you put your foot
Yeah,
down. And yeah, you treat you I guess if they're not being, it's kind of the same thing. If they're not being respectful, you do
yep.
something kind of authoritative to make them be respectful. Like in our day, it used to be, getting a beating. Some of us anyway. We used to get slapped around, not in a bad way, maybe sometimes with objects or belts, and apparently now that's a bad thing. But you
No,
know,
Nate, we're recording. It's a fucking bad thing. Don't do
Bad
that.
thing. It's a bad
I
thing.
don't know. I
Don't
don't
do
I don't
that.
have trauma from that. I don't have trauma from that. So. And I was hit plenty of times, plenty of times. Maybe it's because the other things that I experience in life are very, very traumatic, and that's just on the low scale. But I
No,
mean,
that makes sense actually. Relatively
I
speaking, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, I feel like I deserved an ass whooping. I got an ass whooping. I was acting out of line. There's a different way to handle that for sure, but could it have worked out where a little bit more patience and a little bit more love? Yes,
Mhm.
but maybe I wouldn't have,
Wait, Nate. I'm the same though. Oh wait, purple shirt. Does that not
is
no?
that purple? It looks blue. I'll call it blue. I don't know.
Thanks.
But yeah, I did want to dabble in that, the parenting style, and get some of your feedback because again, and you're both coaching. If you haven't read books about coaching, both male and female, I would encourage you to. Uh, it's an eye opener. Honestly, it really is.
No,
But
love it.
you're right when those things will happen. But when I say those things, you're saying that they both work for male and female. That is true. Positive reinforcement does work. But again, I feel like males need on the playing field, they need the authoritative figure. It doesn't mean that the conversation afterwards we don't revisit and then it's more constructive, it's more love. But sometimes in the heat of the moment, the authoritative figure comes out and the frustration comes out, and you know,
The only thing I would disagree with is that I find it's more based on personality type and less gender as we go along. There are plenty of girls that need to be sternly spoken to and
yeah,
respond well. I mean, I think of somebody like Len Levine. I mean, he was a hell of a coach. and he lit into his teams and they responded. So I think that there's plenty of examples of girls that respond to hard coaching or hard parenting as well. It just speaks to your personality, be able to meet each individual kid where they're at. And I think the really good coaches are able to adapt their approach to meet the needs of their students or their pupil or their players. Um,
Yeah.
I think
Not
it's
to not to
I increasingly think it's less gender and more personality.
yeah, not to bash, but I actually thought you're right. Len Levine was a good coach, but I do think that that was an authoritative figure striking fear into his players. And they responded to fear, not the authoritative figure that was yelling things. They responded to fear. And that's just my opinion on that because I did think back uh, again after I was reading these things. I remember Glenn Levine lambasting his players
Me too.
almost like, and I remember also like the early years of Gino Auriemma in UConn and seeing
Oh,
him lay into some of his players, and you very rarely
yep.
see a lot of that now, right? Like he's he's not doing that to players. It might happen behind closed doors. Again, there's a mantra of like, I'm gonna praise you in public, and then in private, I'm gonna lambaste you or embarrass you or tell you that you're
But
not as good as I'm telling you in public.
Levine was a
Uh,
Spanish teacher, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think of it this way. He's so pissed off that we can't learn Spanish because we're so goddamn ethnocentric.
We're white.
Yeah, we're a bunch of fucking white kids in New Hampshire. He's pissed off about that. And so he's like, fuck it. I will go alpha male on these bitches, and I'm gonna make sure, not these bitches as in women, but like these bitches, period. And I'm gonna be like, what don't you understand that the world is not just yours for the taking? Fucking get up, work for it. I learned Spanish for Christ's sake. I would love to know his history, which would be fun for me. But I think that who you are and your upbringing is a big deal when it comes to like how you treat other people. I think he learned, to your point, Nate, everybody, women, men, whatever, respond to like, I'm gonna whoop your ass if you don't understand what I'm trying to teach you right now, whether it's coaching or Spanish. He's like, I went through this. Why do you think you're too good to go through it? In my just looking back at that guy, because he was great. But looking back at that guy, that's what I say.
Yeah, that's interesting. Got anything to add on that, Wall?
Um, no, I think you nailed it.
I did. I nailed it.
Nailed it. That
Nailed it.
was, yeah, nothing
Nailed
but
it.
net, Chet. Nice work.
I will add this. I am very much pro Len Levine. I think that times have changed. You can't coach that way in high school anymore. Um, but that's how Jimmy coached. That's how Jimmy coached us. That's how Jimmy
Yes.
coached Little League. And
Yep.
Yeah,
he was. I thought he was an effective coach, and I thought I was a better player in every sport he coached because of how he coached me. So yeah, I've seen it work. I've seen it work. I think that we do live in a society where it's a little bit too PC. And I think we did it because that style of coaching is bad for a small percentage of people. And maybe it's I don't know what the percentage is, but it's less than the majority. So we changed the something that benefits 75% because it did not mesh well with 10%. Whether that's right or wrong, I can't say, but I think
Not
it's what
right.
we did. But I guess it depends on how much you messed up the 10%, right? So, like, is it okay to permanently scar 10% of the population if it benefits 75%? I don't know the answer to that, but I think that's what you're asking, right?
yeah, yeah. I agree with you.
Because there's people
But
that wilt
I
under that pressure. I've seen it. There's people that don't
yes,
respond well to that. They get targeted, peers jump aboard. It's not healthy for them and probably changes the trajectory of their life.
yep, yep. You're right. Yes, that's why it doesn't fly now because yeah, because there's the peer predator slash adversary in your own age group will jump on that. You're absolutely right. That's really the only reason why it doesn't exist anymore. And there could be a few other factors like, there's nothing wrong with a parent going up to the coach and saying, "Don't talk to my kid like that ever." And that's good
Yeah.
communication. That's face-to-face communication. And it's okay if the coach says, "Well, then he's not going to play on my team."
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
And
what the coach should say.
yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, adults need to hear things like that. Coaches need feedback like that. Like if they went overboard, or a parent thinks that they went overboard with their kid, like they should be able to have a constructive conversation. It shouldn't be white or black. Like the coach might even say, if they're an intelligent human being, they could probably be like, you know what? You're probably right. Like I probably could have handled that situation a little bit better. I was upset. He didn't run the right play the last four times. I
Mhm.
asked him to, and that's why I reacted that way. But we're gonna fix that. And if that means he's sitting on the bench the next three games,
It might, but
maybe
it might.
that's the answer. But
But I'm
I
okay.
don't know.
I'm confident as a parent in my authoritative style that if a coach is like, Cameron, what the you doing? They're yelling. I can hear it. I actually have heard it. Like they're like, Cameron, he was wide open. What are you doing? I think in my head, okay, my job is to help him process that later. That's my job as a parent. It's not my job to say that coach shouldn't have yelled at you because that coach was right. He missed a wide open guy. So in my mind, I'm thinking that the authoritative style works no matter what anyone else in the world does to you because I'm taking the time to sit with him, deal with his emotions, or Haley's either
Yeah,
also, and deal with their emotions after the fact. If I try to control the coach or the principal or whatever else, all I'm doing is delaying the inevitable that this kid's still going to do whatever they do, and they're not going to
Yeah.
understand why someone's mad at them or why someone is disciplining them. So I help them understand it.
But you're a reasonable person. There is a line, right? And as a father, what is that line, right?
yeah,
So if you're playing 10U football and some kid's lighting into your son, like there's a line that can't be crossed, or like then you just passing your man card. And I don't know what that line is. I hear what you're saying. I don't necessarily disagree with it, but at the same time, there's a point where you're going to have to like feel obliged to stand up for your child.
Yeah.
yeah. I will say, I know you're using an example, but I'm sure it does happen where the coach does yell, "He was wide open." Well, like that is not that. I'm sorry that if the coach does do that, that is poor communication. Because one, you're using a pronoun. The kid just ran a play. Like use a number or a position or the kid's name
I
on the
agree.
team. I'm like,
Don't ever assume their pronouns. I
Yeah.
agree, Nate. Don't ever
No,
fucking
not
assume
that.
their pronouns.
No,
I couldn't
Nate,
agree with you
Nate,
more.
fuck this. Nate, I know
That's
what you're
bullshit.
yeah.
saying. Like say it was Owen. Number three was wide open. Like because when you say, because I agree with you. Hey, you missed it. He was wide open. Cameron doesn't know what
But
fucking
then, but
what he
then
means.
when you use deductive reasoning like that as a human, an adult that's communicating with another person, though, right? Like if I say something like that, well, then again, I could have done things very differently. Instead of doing that, if we're turning the ball over or we're punting or whatever, and the kids are coming off, ask the kid, "Hey, what did you see on that play, and why did you go there?" Like because he might have seen something that you didn't, even though that kid was wide open.
Mhm.
Like again, it's just that's a communication issue that I think you know, again, as an adult coaching adolescents, coaching kids, you assume probably a little too much as far as what their thought process is, or you you really get into a bad habit of trying to think like them or using your thought process in the moment that they're in. You're not in there, so it's just one of those things. Again, communication at all levels.
That's
Uh,
exactly why I process. I have a every night we talk. Best part of your day, anything tough. What are you looking forward to tomorrow, and what's your question? So there's like nothing left on the table at the end of the night.
With both your kids, you do that?
Yep.
Do you do
Haley,
that, Molly?
We talk about what was the favorite part of the day. So we have a family tradition where everyone goes around and talks about their favorite part of the day, or we might switch the candle up. We make a concerted effort to sit down as a family every day at the dinner table and talk about our day. Yeah,
That's good.
it's
Seriously,
about
it's
rituals.
amazing.
You know what makes a family? And I read a book on this once. It's like everyone has rituals, right? Like, so you have things you do with your family, and it might be around holidays, it might be around like checking into the day, it might be how you wake up in the morning, or whatever the case may be. But that's kind of what people remember. So 40 years from now, when we're all dead and gone, our kids will remember the rituals that we learned from our parents and we pass on to them. Um, it makes me happy. So we try to do as many things like that as possible. We have like our things, like our my family things.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
Like that.
That's
And
good.
on record, I learned none of this stuff from my family, but I like what I'm doing now. It feels right. It
Talking
feels
about it or what you're doing with your kids, your family.
what I'm doing with my family. It feels right.
Yeah.
Like I never learned it from my family, but I can tell it works with the kids. So if I go to dinner with Haley and I'm like, hey, just for the record, it'll get better and I always have your back. She's not going to have like this crazy emotional reaction to it, but I can tell it means something. I'm like, okay, I'm on the right track here. Her and I are having dinner. She knows I got her. And
Yeah.
I leave there feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah. Oh, the fruits of your labor as a parent are not again, it's a thankless job. It's a 20 the one job that you'll willingly do and not get paid for the rest of your life,
Always.
and again, the fruits of your labor are when they graduate when they're adult enough to thank you for certain things, and that that's where the reward is, honestly.
Sure.
The emotional, the time that you'll feel the love being returned is when they thank you for certain things, like those family rituals. you know they'll even probably say, I thought that was so stupid and I hated doing it, but now I miss it. Now I want to
It's the
raise a
opposite.
family
It's
and
the
do the same
opposite with
thing.
my kids. My daughter
Oh,
insists on it. Like, God forbid we change
yeah.
any little thing at all.
She's
She will
this.
like does not
That's the
allow it.
routine.
We have
Yes.
breakfast in bed every time everyone has a birthday. We do breakfast in bed, and if we don't do breakfast in bed, like the sky is falling.
Mm. Just remember though, I'm not I don't want to I'm not going to predict the future. But again, there's a certain time for every kid when it's I love you, and then all of a sudden the next day it's I fucking hate my parents. I can't stand them.
Yeah, I
And
know.
everything they say, why are you always telling me what to do?
I
Like
know.
Oh, I
it's
get that a
coming.
lot.
It's
Yeah,
coming
I
at
get
some
that a lot.
point. At some point it's gonna happen. And then again, I mean, I'm sure you guys went through it when you're the adults again. The adults that are authoritative over you, they could be the best in the world at whatever it is that they're doing, and you would be embarrassed by that. Like,
Hmm.
oh God, walk into a room with them, like, I can only imagine how some of these kids react, with that have famous parents that can't go anywhere without somebody walking up to them asking for an autograph or whatever.
Yep.
But like, yeah, it's crazy that you will at some point be the most embarrassing person that has ever lived on the planet for a long time. It's not one day. It is not one day. It is for a very long time until they grow out of that. Like,
That's my
trust
fucking
me.
goal. Are you kidding me? I love embarrassing my kids. That's what I lived for.
I mean, yeah, I know. I relished it as well because I mean, I'm not doing anything to embarrass them except being me. Like that's who I am. Like I'm not gonna wear some weird outfit and like walk around the school or
Oh, see,
wear a t-shirt
that's what I do.
wear a t-shirt with my kids' faces on them. Like I love this person. Like, or what was that t-shirt that Tim made for his oh fuck boy? Whatever the tagger the gamer tag name was. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? We didn't talk about basketball. There isn't really much going on there, although it's about to
Well, no,
start.
training camp's about to start. Jason,
Yep.
there's a video came out a couple last week of Jason Tatum working out, and boy, oh boy, he looks good.
Looks good.
Of
He
course
does.
he does.
Love too.
Yes,
He looks good.
absolutely. Yes, he
So,
does.
so
Absolutely.
maybe not ready for the beginning of the season, but the
No,
whole
no, he won't be ready.
prognosis was like
He won't be
he'll be
ready for
ready.
well past the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, what do you feel? How
but
do you feel about Al Horford, man?
The
you know
Warriors,
what?
fuck the
I'm happy
Warriors.
for him.
Fuck Golden State.
I'm happy for
Fuck
him.
them.
I'm happy for him. I think that we were not going to pay him. We couldn't pay him. It stinks. But I think that's the perfect situation for him. A veteran team that's in win now mode that values a guy like him. I'm happy for Al Horford. I will never root against him. Um, we couldn't resign him. We couldn't even offer
No,
him a
fine.
veteran
But
minimum
a
contract.
3 year contract? What bullshit is that? Is Al Horford going to play for 3 years?
No, no. But now the question is, do we retire his number? I think the answer is no. If he
No,
doesn't end his, if he
no.
doesn't end, I don't think we do. I don't think we do.
We don't
I
now.
think we do.
We
I
might
think
have.
we do, man. That guy's been nothing but an upstanding, a pillar of the community,
Are
a
I
you,
pillar
agree.
of Boston
oh, are you
sports. Like
talking about
he,
I
average
agree.
Al?
I agree.
Average Al?
Oh no, don't be
Just
mean.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just
no,
I'm
I
kidding.
not
think
going to
we.
allow.
Actually,
I
I'm
think
not going to
I
we
allow
love
need to
Al.
Al
retire.
Horford.
We need to retire his number. It's okay that he again.
I love Al,
Me
but he
too.
was not like. I mean, that should be reserved for all-star caliber, like all pro caliber players. And he has been a solid player. He's never been that for us.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yes, not retire his jersey, but Ring of Honor or whatever that means. We're not retiring his jersey number, but he needs to
Yeah.
be in the Celtics Hall of Fame or whatever that is because he was.
Really the only thing we have that I'm aware of is they should do a Hall of Fame. You're 100% correct. They should do a Hall of Fame, but I think they only have the numbers they're after, the retired numbers,
Oh yeah,
right?
Mhm.
I guess I don't
I
know.
mean, they retired KG's number. KG played for fewer years in the Celtics at a much higher level. Um, Al played two different terms. He left us for more money two different times. Like it's hard for me to say we got to retire his number, and I don't begrudge him. He should have in both cases. He should have taken the contract he ended up taking. Any of us would have. All of us would have.
Yes, yes,
But 3 years to Golden Warriors, that's tough.
Yeah, it's the right move for him though.
it
I'm happy
was.
for him.
Yeah, it was. I'm happy for him too. I hope Golden
Oh,
State does
oh,
well.
oh, actually, this kind of like mimics my like Mac Jones happiness, right? You guys have that too. I like to see Mac Jones do well.
Yeah, I know
We
you
screwed
do.
him
We
over.
know you do.
I want to see
I
him
do
do well
too. We
too.
all do. I want to see him do well too. He
No, that
didn't
makes
get a
sense.
fair
I'm
shake here in
seeing
New
it now.
England. Yep.
I'm seeing the similarity. That makes sense.
I'm happy to hear you say that because Fanboy Nation was like laughed him out of town, basically. You
They
know,
shouldn't have.
thought that Bailey Zappi was the guy that should be playing it instead of him, and we could build around Bailey Zappi.
No, we
Anyway,
can't.
yeah, that was Fanboy Nation, yo.
Yeah, I
Not
mean, I'll
us.
own it. I said
Not
what I
not
said.
not.
He stunk for us. Like he was broken. He needed to go somewhere else. It was for his own benefit and ours. Like you can't say
No,
that. Like, yeah, let's keep marching him out there. I like watching a guy get emasculated every week.
fucking sucked.
No,
And
Well,
it
that was
sucks.
again,
Bill Belichick with Matt Patricia, who we love. They brought us
so
championship. What a fucking horrible thing to do to Mac Jones. They fucked him up.
yeah, so was it the New England Patriots or was it Mac Jones? What was the problem? The New
New
England
England
It
Patriots
Patriots.
was a
coaching
combination. It
staff.
was
We all
Patriots. It
know.
was the Patriots.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was the
I
Patriots.
stand.
Just like now we can look at Daniel Jones. What was the
Yes,
problem? Was it the New York Giants or was it Daniel Jones?
New York Giants. Exactly. I
I
like.
know. At least he
I
had
mean, that's the
Neighbors
way
though
that it
too.
looks. That's the way that it looks, but I
Because
mean, yeah,
Daniel Jones looks pretty all
Looks
right,
good. It looks
they're
good.
calling him Danny Diamonds now instead of Danny Dimes.
as they
He's
should.
upgraded. He's upgraded.
And I love to see that shit happen. I love to see, we all love it. Sports stories where someone who was like left for
Redemption.
dead
Yep,
comes back. We all love that shit.
we do. I
Oh,
do. I
I
eat
love
it
it.
up.
I personally love
I
it.
can't wait for the movie.
what movie?
Like Danny Diamonds.
The one that we made about him when he wins it after he wins the championship.
Oh man, that's
I
not
like it.
that's not going to happen. Are you predicting that the Colts are going to win the championship?
They don't look bad.
I tell you, like their running back there,
John
John is
Taylor,
Taylor?
John
Jonathan
Taylor
Taylor?
is having a resurgent season. I love that tight end they drafted Warren in the
Ty
first round. I
Warren,
think
yeah.
he's gonna. I think he's gonna be a stud. I don't hate what they have going on over there. I don't think this is the year, but I don't know. Maybe next year.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think this is their year either.
Hey, so
We'll
hey,
see.
can we like actual score predictions? Did we do them already for Buffalo?
No, we didn't. I think it'll be
Actual score predictions.
It's
yeah,
gonna be high scoring.
20, I don't think so. 24-21
Ooh,
Patriots.
I like it. I like it. Wally?
I think it's going to be like
42-46. What?
34-28 Bills.
Okay.
Really?
I see that too. I do see that. I see 17-14 Patriots.
17-14 Patriots. Oh yes, I like that too. Yeah. I'd rather see it be a slower pace. I think that's in our favor if it's slower pace.
Yep.
Uh, if
That's
it's
it.
if it's high scoring, Wally, I think yeah,
Also,
we scored 42, but we scored a touchdown on special teams for sure.
I mean, we talk about Mac Jones. Can we talk a little bit about Kendrick Bourne? Did anyone see the game he put up last night?
he
Yeah.
was amazing. He was
Yes.
Amazing.
amazing.
I deliberated and I'm like, I picked the Rams in my survivor pool, and it was me. There was half of the other people were already
Oh
out, so
man.
it was and half of us picked the Rams in that situation last night, and yeah, I'm out. So there's three
Uh,
left, and I'm so
why
upset
did you
because it's
talk
like
to us?
I
Yeah,
mean
you gotta talk
I
to
would
us
never
first.
I
let you
knew
do that.
Mac Jones was coming in injured anyway. They
Yeah,
were ultra
that's right.
motivated.
He
Yeah,
had that
They were
rib.
and
ultra
Pearsall
motivated for
was
that game.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were ultra motivated for that. I originally had Detroit. I was picking Detroit over Cincinnati, that's another no-brainer, I feel like. But the Rams should have won that game easy if they, again, if certain things don't go their way. Talk about ball security. They had a few fumbles. They had they had a couple wide open catches that just went through people's
Wow.
hands, bounced
You're
off of
out.
it, and it was super
Uh oh.
frustrating to watch. Super frustrating. Oh, time to go.
Not to be on the screen.
Oh no, they know you're gorgeous.
Yeah, we do know. We do know that gorgeous person that walked in the room is your wife.
Obviously.
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 I'll go
Uh,
downstairs.
well, we can wrap it up, honestly, if you guys, unless you guys got stuff to talk about.
Well, Sabrina really wants to talk to everybody
I
here.
know.
She has lost a set.
Dad, past my bedtime.
It's past
Want to
Chet's
hear a good
bedtime
dad
too.
joke?
Yeah, you
Oh,
want to
your
hear a good dad
It's
joke?
dad
Oh.
You
joke
got a
time.
good dad joke.
Yeah, it's dad joke time. Let's do that one.
All right, so after an unsuccessful harvest, why did the farmer decide to try a career in music?
I don't know.
Because he had a ton of sick beats.
Yeah, that is a really lame dad joke.
That's the dad joke of the week. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. That's the point of all dad jokes, isn't it? Like, I mean, corny slash we can't use retarded anymore, but like, it should
You
be
cannot. You
a
cannot.
little
No,
weird.
you have to get up,
Should
but
be
you
a
just
little,
did. Yeah,
I
you
did,
did.
yeah. No, I said
That's
you
what they call
can't use
dad
it.
jokes now.
I said you can't use it. I wasn't using it, Wally.
But
Jeez.
you used it when you said
Semantics. Semantics. Anyway, thanks for jumping on, y'all. I appreciate it.
Love
Smash
you,
the
man.
like button, all that stuff. Love
Wait, is
y'all.
this
Have a good
recording?
night.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Heck
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
ew.